Yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy Franklin, and today or this morning, depending on where you are at the part of the world, we ended up getting a competitive play trailer in regards to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as the conclusion of Worlds was at its end. So, shoutouts to Worlds, because I don't remember recall ever having a trailer like this for Sword and Shield in Worlds. But then again, that was like what 2019, and we did end up having E3 at the time. So I guess good for them. Good for them. Now I already have seen this trailer, but I wanted to break down a couple things in regards to some of the more interesting stuff that I saw in this trailer. Particularly because I am a competitive player myself, and I love to battle. Like in Pokemon, I don't care about breeding, I don't care about trading, I don't care about none of that bull crap. I love competitive play. I love to play 6v6 singles. If VGC is interesting, I'll play it too. If I'm in a draft league that's interested, I'll play that too. I love battling with Pokemon, bro. I love battling and beating people online. That's just me. That's just the competitive person in me. But anyways, let's get into this brand new trailer, shall we? So, first thing I noticed when this trailer was, broadcasted on YouTube is obviously we got new Pokemon and, more clarification in regards to the new gimmick in this game. So first of all, we got a new Pokemon, which is Cyclizar. I think that's how you say it. Dragon and Normal. That's a pretty interesting typing combination because being immune to ghost types nowadays is pretty cool, especially a Pokemon that has potential offensive capabilities. I don't know if this Pokemon actually will have capabilities, but this Pokemon looks awfully similar to our box cover legendaries in Koraidon and Miraidon. So that's something we gotta take into consideration. I feel like this is gonna be either a descendant of the box cover legendaries or it's just the baby version of the Pokemon. And I believe I read somewhere in the Pokemon website saying people ride this Pokemon all the time. So it's starting to make me believe this might be just a descendant. It could be a baby, but who knows? It just looks very, very similar. Like you can see clearly the wheel on its like esophagus area. I mean, come on, who are you trying to fool? But Dragon and Normal is pretty damn cool for ghost resistance. So then, obviously, we have the next thing, which is the Shed Tail, and Shed Tail looks pretty damn crazy on its own. But what I noticed from Shed Tail, it says here, create a substitute, then swap places with a party Pokemon waiting. The first thing I noticed is that the Cyclizar lost half of its HP. So maybe this actually might be a game-breaking move under the right circumstances. Now, I read somewhere people were about to panic saying, oh my god, this is a baton pass. Well, it's not. You're not essentially. How do I say this word? The baton pass. You're not passing stats onto the next Pokemon in party. So thank God, because if that was the case, this move would be probably insta-banned in a lot of unofficial single formats. So I did notice it did lose half of its HP, which is kind of a hefty cost, but getting a substitute up and switching into a Pokemon that you want, that's actually kind of cool. And this actually might be kind of broken. I think about it from that perspective. Yay, we got our new ice type Pokemon, which is pretty cool. And so it says Mirror Herb, which is a new item that we get in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And it says copies an opponent's stat increases when consumed. Yo, that might be low-key. This, dude. If you are a fan of hyper offense, this thing might be a detriment to you. Like, imagine, like, your hyper offensive teams rely on Sword Stance, Dragon Dance, Calm Mind, Agility, or whatever like stat boosting moves, and then this Pokemon just comes in and just copies the exact same thing. That's insane. Can you imagine Mirror Herb on an unaware Pokemon like Clefable? Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Holy crap, that would be insane. Peak anti hyper offense. This might be a downfall of hyper offense with this item. Damn. Oh, also, one thing I noticed, I really like the background for the battle scene. It looks pretty damn good. I like seeing the people just waving at you and all that stuff. Sure, it might be like a little, generic, for some people, but I do like the outdoor scene because oftentimes when we're playing battles and all that, like we're literally in like stadiums or inside of buildings or inside like a digitalized web interface room or whatever. But this looks actually like pretty damn cool, like being outside, and the fact that it's Wi-Fi too, which is pretty damn cool. So now we get more information in regards to the new gimmick, terrestrializing. So now it makes more sense to me that, let's say for example this colossal is rocking fire, and you change its typing to water and resist Rotom's hydro pump and then activate steam engine, all that stuff. Also, this is like a new item we get here too. So loaded dice makes multi-strike moves more likely to hit more times. So it's kind of like a skill link in item form. I think that's pretty interesting. Although I'm not really too sure about that. I mean, a Pokemon that would take advantage of that would be like Garchomp with Scale Shot. That'd be pretty gnarly, getting 5 hits every time, especially you get a Swords Dance up. That'd be pretty interesting. On a Breloom though, I'm not too sure. I think Breloom. Why is Breloom hitting Bullet Seed? Just Sky Uppercut this thing, Force Palm, Focus Punch. Jesus Christ! Just beat up the Blissey, will you? So I guess it makes more sense in this scenario here with the new gimmick. So let's say this Tyranitar, as it's doing its own thing. Oh wow, it looks kind of clean. So this Tyranitar is using the new gimmick. So instead of Rock and Dark, it now becomes Ghost. Obviously, Gallade is gonna click, the close combat, which is a fighting type move, and doesn't affect the T-Tar because the T-Tar is now a Ghost type. So it makes more sense to me now. It makes a lot more sense to me. So now there's a new move when you're using this gimmick, and it's Terra Blast. Changes type when the user has terrestrialized. That's actually kind of cool. You get to use a move that actually involves using the gimmick, rather than the gimmick overtaking the Pokemon itself, like Mega Evolutions, where it just changes the ability, or Z moves, which powers up a move within the Pokemon move pool. Having a move that changes the typing and potential power of stab moves based on whatever typing you changed into, that's actually pretty cool. That makes a lot more sense from a hopeful game balance perspective. I really do hope, first of all, it is a balanced mechanic. I really hope it is. I think it might be. So far, with the more clarification that I'm getting from this trailer, it seems to me that for sure it looks like it's becoming a little more balanced for me. And I feel like this mechanic has a lot of potential into like basically changing the way you play Pokemon. And they do mention that briefly in the trailer or in the Pokemon website, where now you can't just click one move to counteract this Pokemon. You have to be very careful in using this new gimmick, because now it's like, okay, let's say for example, I always choose the example of Salamence versus Toxapex, and sure, Salamence knows Earthquake and it knows Thunderfang to counteract a Toxapex, but Toxapex is gonna eat all those attacks because Toxapex is fat as hell. And they're not stab moves, so therefore it can just recover, it can Scald Burn you, yada yada yada. But now what happens if that Salamence, Dragon dances up because he's a boss, whatever, and then it uses the terrestrializing mechanic and turns into a ground or a lightning or lightning. Oh my god, Raiden or a electric type. Now you can't really counteract that. So pretty interesting. I hope this does change the way Pokemon does its battles slightly, not to the point that it becomes like a completely new, game where you have to change the way you make teams. But I hope it brings that thinking capsule into perspective. And what I mean by that is like I just kind of don't like Pokemon when you're just clicking buttons that are brain dead. You click one move or your opponent misses one move and it's a wrap. I'm like, no, we gotta have a game where it's balanced, yet it is fresh, and it has to be something that actually uses brain power. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a high-ranking pro player or whatever. And it looks like as of today, this game is coming out in 3 months. A little less than 3 months from now. So that's pretty cool. What do you guys think about this new trailer? I'm pretty excited. I think now with what I saw in this trailer, it makes a lot more sense for me personally in regards to the new gimmick. So now I think it makes more sense to me now. So what do you guys think? Guys still excited? I mean, I'm pretty excited for a new gen of Pokemon games. I just really hope the game turns out pretty good because I'm getting a bit frustrated with games that one don't look good and two they just don't seem to perform up to the expectations of everybody, especially with a company that has been criticized for a very long time, so to speak. So, let me know what you guys think about this trailer. It's your boy Franklin signing out. Peace.